Is it? Is it? If you are wondering the way to LinkedIn strategies, but you're not even sure if LinkedIn is the right platform for your business,
That's crazy. People use LinkedIn?
stay tuned because in this video, we're gonna drop some LinkedIn strategies and help you discern if it's the place to be. Okay, so if you're watching this video, odds are that you're an entrepreneur who's really trying to gauge if LinkedIn will help you in the achievement of your marketing or revenue goals. Or you might be an entrepreneur who's already using LinkedIn and you're not seeing the results that you're looking for, and you're questioning if LinkedIn is the right place, point blank, period. So regardless of which category you fit in, Kelly and I, we've got you covered.
For real though?
So first and foremost, Kelly, from your perspective, I know that as director of operations for our business, you see hundreds of women entrepreneurs and how they leverage LinkedIn. But I also know that you've led several businesses and you've kind of seen those dynamics. From your perspective, what do you think about LinkedIn for a business?
I absolutely think LinkedIn is essential in every business. Not just because I now work with you, but because we are, as an operations professional, I use it for recruiting. Like, it's where we go to find top talent. And it's the first place we go. We've tried other platforms and they're just not given. So it's really where we get, we can run LinkedIn ads to find top talent, or I can just do a search or like do a keyword search and reach out to individuals directly. And we've gotten most of our team from LinkedIn.
That's true, and I wasn't even thinking about that, like at all, that angle. I love that because we coach women entrepreneurs to secure six-figure corporate clients. And what happens when our clients land six-figure deals is they immediately have a scaling problem because they're like, I need people to help me in service delivery. And right now with the market, the narrative is, I mean, not that it's not true, but the narrative is how hard it is to attract talent. And so we've shared with them that we're going out to really position ourselves for those candidates that we want, and LinkedIn has been critical to that.
Absolutely.
I love that. For me, when I'm thinking about if LinkedIn is the right platform for a business from a sales and marketing standpoint, there's a few things that I think about. One, if you're looking to do business with other businesses, I say hands down, you have to be there. LinkedIn is known for 80% of B2B leads being sourced from the platform, and executives state that they turn to LinkedIn when they're making purchasing decisions. So it's absolutely the place to be. The other business that I also think about is maybe you're not looking to serve other businesses, but maybe you're looking to serve high net worth individuals. It makes me think of Christina, who is one of our clients. And so Christina does financial services and investment, and she was looking for either business leaders or individuals who were looking for building a nest egg post-retirement. And the thing about LinkedIn is that the average income of a LinkedIn user is over $111,000 per year. So when you're looking for individuals to sell luxury products or professionals or executives or just someone who has some discretionary income, it's a great place to go to.
Wow, I absolutely love that. I had no idea. It's also a good platform to connect with peers. So for networking purposes, I know that when you shed the light on LinkedIn for me, it's where I got to connect with other ops professionals. And it's really nice just to be able to read their content and binge and connect and do some networking on there as well. I know they have LinkedIn events, something like that. So it's really cool.
It's funny you say that because when we look at the research for why executives turn to LinkedIn, it's because they're looking for best practices and professional development. That's the type of content that the LinkedIn user is looking for. So to your point, that's exactly what most are using it for, is how do I grow, how do I develop in my role, and what are the best practices for doing so.
What about the search optimization functions?
Hey, look at you! Come through! SEO, yes. You know, when we look at LinkedIn, LinkedIn is one of the top 5 indexing sites with Google. And so it's also a great place to publish content and insights and to use relevant keywords to your ideal buyer so that you're found in Google searches. It's interesting because when I do training and workshops, and one of the activities I'll do is say, hey, Google your name and see what comes up. And we'll have individuals who have invested all this money into SEO for their website, or they have a YouTube channel which is owned by Google, and very often their LinkedIn profile will still show up as a top result. So that's really interesting. It's still a great place for marketing and attracting your buyer.
I love it. So basically you're saying if you want to make money, then you need to be on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the obvious choice platform.
It is. And I know for a lot of individuals, they have an aversion to LinkedIn because they think it's like stuffy or boring. And that's really changing. LinkedIn has taken some initiatives like with their Creator Accelerator program just to encourage diversity and authenticity, right? Like for brands on the platform. There are some cases where I don't think LinkedIn is the right platform. I will say that. So for instance, if your buyer or user is just too busy, or they're just not the type of person who's going to be on LinkedIn, right now it's not worth, using it. It makes me think of a distinction. There was a client, Kim, that I worked with, and at the time she was focused on serving restaurant managers. Okay, if you've ever been a server in a restaurant, which I have, one of the most toxic managers I ever had was when I was a waitress in college. I'm not gonna say that brand that many of y'all know. He was cussing folks off, cussing folks out, it was horrible. So I have a little bit of trauma. But one thing I remember from that trauma is he was always running around the restaurant, just hair on fire. He's not the type of person in his job where he's on the app looking at the phone. That's just not something that was really common. And in working with her business, that was a challenge. We're not talking, restaurant chains per se or food and beverage, but if you were really looking to reach the mom and pop owner of a local restaurant or restaurant manager, that was something where it was her buyers were not on LinkedIn. Another example is to also think of seasons. So it also makes me think of another client that I had that I've done for you prospecting work for on LinkedIn is Ed. And so Ed has many different industries that he serves with his business, and one of them is the accounting industry. And I made the horrible mistake of trying to prospect and reach accountants during their busy season on LinkedIn. And we found, first of all, it's just not the time of year for that. They're not showing up. And two, for their personality style, at that time, there were not a lot of accountants using the platform. So, it varies. There are some user groups where they're just not active on the platform.
Would you also say that if you are not ready to show up and do the work and update your profile and post it engaging content, that maybe you should just stay off LinkedIn completely?
Yeah, I'm torn on that. It's funny because if I look up someone's name and I don't see a LinkedIn platform at all,
you're judging.
I'm judging. I'm judging. Yes. And there's a lot of women who apply for our program. We have an application process for our program. We only approve 40% of the women who work with us. And the majority of them that we reject is because I don't see you on LinkedIn. I'm like, are you a human being? Are you spam?
Right.
So what I'll say is, even if you're not willing to be consistent on the platform and show up, at least set up your profile and put a photo on there. So if someone's searching, they at least see that you're a true human being.
Right.
Yeah. So I do think that.
So when you first decided, I'm going to go all in on LinkedIn, what made you decide to leverage the platform?
That's a really great question. It really came down to understanding my business model, which first, before I get into that should be something you consider. So if you click at thebigmoneymovement.com, you can apply for access to my 2-hour masterclass where we go deep into how to define your business model and who your buyers are, because that was the game changer for me, right? So for example, we have hundreds of women that we serve in the Big Money Movement Accelerator. And many of them are on LinkedIn, have great networks, have professional experience, but they're also on Instagram. And before they join us, they're focusing their time on Instagram, posting. And then when they get in the program and they strategically look at their business model, they discern, wait, LinkedIn's a better bet. For example, Brittany, who's a member of our program, she's focused, she's very well positioned, right? She's a great brand, many people know her. And we had a conversation and she was looking at the lion's share of my revenue is coming from this particular client.
Wow.
And this client is on LinkedIn. So this is where I need to spend my time. And that's what happened for me. The idea behind launching the Big Money Movement was amplifying the opportunities. Yes, you could create an online course and sell it to a consumer for $50, $500, what have you. Or you can package up your expertise and serve a corporate buyer for $50,000. What is the decision you want to make? It was clear for me.
Right.
Like, that was clear for me. And so I knew that, you know, for many of us, we have so many different skill sets and things that we have expertise on. It's just discerning our discipline. And for me, I made the choice that this was the discipline that I was going to focus on, and thus those buyers are on LinkedIn.
I love it.
Okay, so that just got me on a roll. So let's go even deeper. So if you want to learn more about LinkedIn, click this next video and let's go deeper into how to do B2B marketing on LinkedIn, because that's where I think so many of those question marks come into play. And that's not all. We can also go deeper on your business model as well. So click the link for thebigmoneymovement.com to apply for my masterclass, where I go in depth for 2 hours for how to map out that business model and attract those corporate clients. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.